Hello everyone and welcome to the Holding Crypto channel. It is Saturday, the 28th of June, 2025. We are going to take stock of the Bitcoin situation, of course. We will also look at the altcoins. We will look at the news, the indicators. In short, a big program. Come on, let's get settled and start this video with this crypto map, which is rather mixed. We know that, unfortunately. Even if Bitcoin is not doing too badly, we know we have a Bitcoin dominance that remains very high, and unfortunately that is catastrophic for the altcoins. In short, we will look at all that in this video. So we start directly with the news. Galaxy Digital aims to support stablecoins, solid projects, and Web3 infrastructure, so that is still very good news. Invesco and Galaxy have just filed an application to launch a Solana ETF with the SEC. That's good news. From memory, that makes 9 entities that have filed an ETF application. There were 7 until now, already big players. So we'll see. We know very well that the Solana case is a very difficult case to manage. There is the whole DeFi part, there is the whole staking part, there are quite a few things to see on it. So in short, it's a big section to deal with. So the Solana part, of course, on the ETF side, it's not easy. SEC Commissioner Esther Pierce announces that in-kind redemptions for crypto ETFs are approaching, a major step towards more efficient, more transparent, and more investor-friendly ETFs. So we'll see, that too is still very good news for the long term. On the European Union side, which plans to reduce customs duties on American products to ease trade tensions, well, that's still not won. It's delicate, but maybe it could go well, so that's also interesting. Bitwise is back with new filings to launch spot Dogecoin and Aptos ETFs. So the ETF race has only just begun. We know there are a lot of ETF requests for many cryptocurrencies. I remind you from memory, there is Litecoin, Solana, XRP, there was Aptos, there was also SUI. There were, in short, many tokens that are in ETF requests that are not yet approved at this hour, but maybe that will come later. Hong Kong launches Policy 2.0 with the LEAP program, objective to become the global leader in digital assets with a focus on tokenization and stablecoins. So that directly competes with what the United States is doing. So either each of the two will try to seize this share, and the advantage is that they will develop, they will push for this sector, which could be very good for cryptocurrency, or one will win and the other will be left behind. But I don't think so. I think both will really work to highlight this sector. A White House official states that the U.S. government has an accumulation plan for Bitcoin to build a strategic reserve in Bitcoin. So excellent news. We'll see again. It takes time. But again, these are just extremely bullish news that we have daily. Let's go. We're going to look at what's happening on the technical analysis side. Before that, of course, I remind everyone that everything I'm going to say is in no way financial advice. It's up to you to do your own research, and don't forget that cryptocurrency trading involves risks of partial or major loss. We start with this fear and greed index, which has gone down a bit. Yesterday, we were at 74 at the door of extreme euphoria. You see, it's falling back a bit, so that's good. That's good. We especially don't want to be in the green, we want to be here. So the more we are in the green, the less interesting the buying opportunities are. So that's interesting to watch daily. On our Bitcoin side, well, what's happening? You see, unfortunately, for several days, we haven't been able to pass the resistance level that I gave it. And as you understood, when resistances are well drawn, it completely changes the game. For several days, I have been talking to you about a resistance at $107,872. And as you can see, unfortunately, this resistance that is here, we can't break it. Look, it's there. It's the line that is here. We came to touch it yesterday and the day before yesterday, but we can't break it, which is quite normal. It's a resistance, so after a while, we can't break these resistances. It takes time. In any case, it's just that you have to work the resistance, work. And at some point, it ends up breaking. So there, in any case, for now, for 2 days, we can't break it. In reality, we had broken this resistance here on June 9, and then we lost it again. And we have never managed to recover it since, in any case. So for now, unfortunately, on the Bitcoin side, it remains a blocked situation. There is still a problem, that is, you see, for me, we absolutely must push soon. You see here the low point that is, there was lower than this one, which is also lower than this one. So the low points are lower and lower, and for now, the high points are lower and lower. So we are always, in any case, just since here, May 22, here, we are bearish. Of course, if we zoom out overall, we are not at all bearish, you understood, we are even bullish overall. But since that date, in any case, we are bearish here, we cannot say the opposite. If I just take this rectangle here, we are bearish. So here the problem is that we will have to break this trend that is lasting a little bit. Anyway, we will have to break it if we want, of course, to go for the ATH and try the break and make a new ATH. We have no choice. So for that, we will have to first break the 107,872. But we will have to break here the other resistances at 109,495 and here the 110,346, or even why not, the ATH itself at $111,900. I remind you that our Bitcoin is still in a bull flag configuration, so that remains rather good news. Look at that. We have here the bullish phase, we have here the retracement, and in general, this type of pattern tends to break upwards to prolong the bullish movement. So there for now, this configuration is still rather validated, but still, let's remain extremely careful about that. For now, it is not acquired, it is not won, it is not confirmed. The bull flag is present, it continues to form, but it is not validated at the moment. So that's why we will have to wait a little longer, and especially, in fact, in reality, if we look closely, look, I just put a small bearish trend line here, so they're in reality the key level that we will have to break. It is first here at 108,184. And indeed, if we break this line that I drew for you, then in that case, we could experience a nice bullish push on the Bitcoin side, and that could be really very interesting. In any case, for the moment, it is clear that I am not worried. I am not worried about the configuration we currently have. The configuration is still rather nice. Still, even if here, we are blocked. It's not serious for now. It's not serious. What I like is that we are above the moving average ribbon and we continue to establish ourselves above the ribbon. You know that as long as we are above the ribbon, therefore there is no particular problem. We obviously remain in a rather clean configuration. Even if there, for now, we are still retracing, but the configuration remains rather nice. So that remains cool. And there, for now, for me, on the Bitcoin side, there is no need to worry. We are above the ribbon. We are above the range at $105,050, so for now, it is clear that there is no concern. On the MACD momentum side, we have just started a bull momentum for 2 days. So there it's the same, that's rather positive. And on the RSI side, well, clearly we have a lot of room because look, the retracement zone is here. So clearly we still have a lot of room if we have to start pushing. There is no problem, we have leeway. So there, technically speaking, apart from this resistance that blocks us at 107,872, there is only that, in reality, there is only that which prevents us from going higher. For now, the configuration is still preparing a very nice bullish pattern. We are currently on zones that are still relatively high. I mean, we have retraced, but we have not fallen back to $80,000. We are already back to $107,000, whereas just a few days ago, look, it was at the beginning of the week. I remind you that Sunday evening, we were at $98,000. Today, we are at $107,000. So there since Sunday evening. So in the space of 5 or 6 days, Bitcoin has still gained more than 10%. 10% on Bitcoin is just colossal. I remind you that it is the most capitalized crypto. We are not talking about a shitcoin, we are talking about Bitcoin. 10% in 1 week is really not bad. So good in any case on the Bitcoin side for now. The signals are rather encouraging. We still have this beautiful bull flag configuration that is taking shape. And I remind you that the long-term view for now is still bullish. There too, you see, we always have, however, in the long term, higher and higher high points, higher and higher low points. So for now, long term, we are bullish. Long term, medium term, we saw that indeed there is this rather interesting configuration with this appearance of a bull flag, but we still have a small point of danger in the medium term, however, long term. For now, we are still bullish, even if, unfortunately for now, in the long term, we cannot break the bearish trend line that is here on the RSI side. I remind you that this line, for now, we cannot break it, but we should manage to break it. Because, therefore, if we manage to break it, it would allow us to regain a lot of strength afterwards. So we're not there yet. Clearly, it will take time. But yeah, it still remains interesting for the moment on our Bitcoin side from the point of view of its technical configurations, and especially from the point of view of what is happening. From a macroeconomic point of view, and especially institutional with the ETF race, the Bitcoin race with strategy, and many other entities that are accumulating heavily. So for now, on the Bitcoin side, we are really in a good configuration and on a good dynamic. If we look at what's happening on the Ethereum side, it's a little different. But it's still not too bad. We are still struggling, you see, since the break of the range downwards. So here we haven't managed to reintegrate the $2,440. And yet, that's our key level that we'll have to recover. I remind you that as long as we can't recover this key level, well, we are blocked, and we will struggle to go for higher points. Especially since just above this key level, we have here a resistance at $2,465. And for now, as long as we can't cross these two key levels you understood, we won't go higher on the Ethereum side. However, the good news is that we continue to work these key levels. So as long as we work them, we have hope of breaking them. And there for now, since we continue to work this, we can say that potentially we could have an attempt to break soon. Especially since there we are still, it must be noted, inside the moving average ribbon. We are not below the moving average ribbon, you see. We are inside the moving average ribbon. Currently, we are above the 100-period moving average. So we are still in the moving average ribbon. It has not been broken downwards. The situation is not bearish. The only problem is that yes, we broke the range downwards. Yes, we formed a low point lower than its previous one, a high point lower than the previous one. So that's not necessarily a very good sign, but we are still just below the key levels that need to be recovered. So I remind you, $2,440 and $2,465. If we manage to recover these key levels, of course, Ethereum could, of course, go back inside its range and regain strength to go for higher points. So there, indeed. For now, the situation is delicate on the Ethereum side, but we still have the appearance of a rather interesting pattern. Look at that here. We formed a nice little cup with a small handle on the side. I remind you, of course, that it is a bullish reversal chart pattern. But for that, to validate this pattern, we have no choice. We will have to validate the $2,491. If we validate the break of this key level, then in that case, we could validate the cup and handle. And there, in that case, that could be interesting. Because look, the cup and handle that is there, it is still quite imposing. We have a cup and handle of more than 14%. And as a theoretical target here, the $2,810. So for now, it is not validated, this cup and handle. What I like is that in the short term, we have ultra-tight Bollinger Bands. You see here, very, very, very tight Bollinger Bands. We know that if that starts to break, it could indeed trigger a volatile movement. So indeed, that will be super interesting. And there, you see, in reality, that's why the Bollinger Bands are compressed. It's because we are starting a small range here. So, attention, in general, the weekend is coming. So, of course, when it's the weekend, ranges tend to last. But anyway, that's all for today. Don't forget to like, comment, share as much as possible if you liked the video. And don't forget also to subscribe if it's not already done. That allows you to receive videos every day concerning Bitcoin and altcoins. Activate the small bell to be sure to receive all notifications. Have a great day and see you later.